Hey guys, and welcome to another video. And today we're going to have another vinyl collection video. So let's just get right into it. So firstly, we got my favourite album of last year. We got Fiona Apple's Fetch the Bolt Cutters. And as you guys already know, I love this album. Ever since it dropped, it's just been a constant over the year. We got a nice, I think it's called Opaque colour there. I haven't listened to it on record yet, but I'm planning to when I get the time. I can't this week though because I'm going away. That's why I'm recording this video, because it's an easy one. And yeah, there's another record in the same colour. There's nothing else in there really, but yeah, really love this album. Some incredible. I mean, I've already said this, but the track run from Heavy Balloon, Cosmonauts, and For Her is genuinely perfect. It's one of the best 3-track runs I've ever heard in an album. So yeah, Fiona Apple's Fetch the Bolt Cutters. And next up, we have one of the saddest albums of all time now. We got Nick Drake's Pink Moon. Some really, really nice artwork that is like, yeah, probably one of my favourite album artworks ever, really. And listening to this on vinyl is actually like really good, really perfect for it. And this is I don't remember what version this is, but it's from 1972. This I think it's like a exact replica of the 1972 version of the vinyl. And yeah, picked this up from my local record store, which was pretty surprising. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to pick that up. One of my all-time favourites, really. And there's nothing I can say that's immediately bad about the album, really. And yeah, download code for your head top. And yeah, I heavily recommend this album if you're looking to get sad. So yeah, Nick Drake's Pink Moon. And next up, we have an album that really grew on me over the past couple of months. An album that I thought was pretty boring when I first listened to it. We got The Cure's Disintegration. Well, I do prefer Pornography to this album, as in the album Pornography. It's still a really, really, really good album. And, some iconic songs here too. And I don't know why I didn't really like it at first. I still think there's some flaws to it, but there's I don't know. I think I overreacted when I first listened to it. Listened to it because I was probably tired. Because I listen to albums when I'm tired and I don't like them for some reason. So yeah, got some iconic songs on here too. Plain Song, Pictures of You, Love Song, Lullaby, and yeah, some incredible songs on here. Songs that I didn't appreciate when I first listened to it, but I do now. And again, I do prefer the album Pornography to this, but you can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong with The Cure. I'm looking to get more into The Cure since I've got a renewed interest in them. There's another same plain black vinyl, heavy duty black vinyl. And yeah, I heavily recommend this album. This is one of the most acclaimed albums of all time, interestingly enough. I think it's a good album, but I don't see it like top 10 of all time. But yeah, still a really good album. The Cure's Disintegration. Next grouping, we've got some more aggressive vinyls here. You have Tom Waits' Real Gone. And Tom Waits is an artist that I absolutely adore. His voice is something to be marveled at. We've got some lyrics over here. And yeah, the way he uses his vocals, like on every record really, it's incredible. I mean, obviously Rain Dogs, one of the probably his most iconic album. It's just incredible how he uses his voice. And even his fucking hell, I can't speak today. His bloody songwriting is some of the really poetic. On songs like Dead and Lovely, He was hard to impress. He knew everyone's secrets. He wore her on her arm just like jewelry. He never gave, but he got. He kept her on a leash. He's not the kind of will you fall asleep at. And it's truly poetic, really. And yeah, you got the same sleeve on the other side. Heavily recommend this album. This is probably my favourite Tom Waits album from the handful I've heard. This, Rain Dogs, and Swordfish Trombone. Probably my top 3 for right now. I haven't heard a whole lot of his most acclaimed stuff, but those are the 3 I've heard, and I heavily recommend this one. I'm surprised I found this in bloody JB Hi-Fi. And the next one is another really aggressive record, a punk rock record this time. We have Dead Kennedys with Plastic Surgery Disasters. And yeah, it's just another fantastic album, and a really political one, obviously, being punk. It's just one of those albums where when you put it on, you have to. You can't resist but bloody nodding your head and viciously nodding your head, you know? I hate when vinyls get stuck like that, man. But yeah, really, really aggressive punk rock. Really, really love this album. There also their other album, it's the Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables, I think the album is called. But yeah, that one's probably my favourite Dead Kennedys album. But this is a very close second. Dead Kennedys, and really cool artwork, I'd say. Really unique artwork there. And yeah, I didn't show you the back actually. Some really cool artwork. And yeah, Dead Kennedys, Plastic Surgery Disasters. Incredible album. Love, love, love it. Next up, we have one of the most iconic black metal albums of all time. And a shame that the guy's a piece of shit, the lead singer, which is not narrowing it down for black metal. But we have Burzum's Philosophum. And, you know, if you're a black metal fan, you know this album. You've heard this album at least. One of the most blistering black metal albums ever. One that will leave it's a very memorable experience listening to this album. And even the bloody, I think it's like a 20-minute ambient song in the middle of it. Even that's pretty, really good. And just the bloody distorted guitar work on the first track, I'm pretty sure. What's the first track? On the first track, Dunkelheit. The listening track, and then a little boom, boom. The little I was gonna say dots for some reason, but the little chimes. It works really, really well with the blistering metal. And yeah, I just love this album really. I remember for some reason the first time I listened to this album was when I had a headache. But it still banged. You know, these are the type of, when I first got into music, these are the type of albums I didn't think I would like at all. But listening to it, you have to listen to it with an open mind. And listening to it, it's just a really incredible experience, really, to get into albums like these. And yeah, highly recommend this album if you're looking to, I don't know if you should listen to this getting into black metal, but at some point, you have to listen to this. It's an absolute essential for the genre. So yeah, Burzum Philosophum. And the last one, the last batch, we got some electronic vaporwave sort of things. First up, we have the self-described David Bowie of vaporwave with George Clanton, Slide. Really, really surprised with this album because it's just a nice vibe, isn't it? It's just a really nice vibe. And I bought this off of the 100% Electronica label. So we've got a really, really cool vinyl here. I mean, look at that. How awesome is that bloody vinyl art? And yeah, once I listened to it and I loved it, and then I saw this and I was like, oh, I have to buy it. I simply have to. It's really really essential for modern vaporwave and modern electronic music. George Clanton really, really stepping up to the plate to carry vaporwave, modern vaporwave. And even like not put it into the mainstream, but like popularize it more, to popularize the Vaporwave revival. So yeah, really love this album. I highly recommend checking it out. We've got Living Loose, Blast Off, Slide, You Lost Me There. Just some incredible songs on this, and highly recommend checking it out. And speaking of 100% Electronica and George Clanton, I have 100% Electronica by George Clanton. And this is a beautiful one. This is a 5-year anniversary special edition. And it's listening to these type of albums on record, it's just incredible. And, you know, I bought this off of the label once again. I gave more of my money to them. And just because, I mean, do I need to say more? Do I need to say more? The fluoro yellow with green splatter. It is just, it's hard to get better than that, really. It's one of the most beautiful vinyls I own. And and looking at it spin around on the record player is just brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. Also, if you want to see what I'm listening to on vinyl, and you can see the vinyls I have pretty early, you can follow my Instagram or my Twitter, because I show them off there first. They see it first. Then yeah, and you would be the first to see the other vinyl color, purple. Oh, bloody hell! It looks a lot better in person, but look at that. Just look at that, man. I mean, I don't even have to explain to you why I bought this. Well, one, it's a really good album, and two, just God. And since this is the 5-year anniversary edition, there are some early versions and early mixes of songs on this album, and it's pretty interesting to hear how some of them's really bare bones. Some of them are really bare compared to the final version. And yeah, it's really nice to hear. I also got some stickers with it. Obviously the 100% Electronica sticker. Another one. I've bought so many from 100% Electronica. There you go, another one. And yeah, and I got this poster from it too. My mum saw this and said, "Why is there a young boy in your room?" Please don't say that. But yeah, 100% recommend checking this out. You know, songs like Never Late Again, Did I Flounder, Purity, Bleed. Oh, Bleed's drop is fucking, it's incredible. And yeah, 100% recommend checking this out. George Clanton, 100% Electronica. And the last album is another album I bought from 100% Electronica, but it's not from George Clanton. It is the Masterpiece Edition of Death's Dynamic Shroud. I'll Try Living Like This. Probably my favorite Vaporwave album of all time. And it sounds incredible on record. Got some really interesting art there too. And listening to it on a record player is one of the most, this is probably the most memorable experiences I've had listening to a record to listen to a vinyl on a record player, because it filled the room. It really did, every track. And also, I really wanted to get that splattered edition, the clear one with like a rainbow sort of splatter, but I was asleep when that came out, so later in the day they brought this out, and it still is really beautiful. I mean, look at the ripples on it. Look at the ripples on the bugger. Bloody beautiful. And yeah, if you're getting into music at all, I recommend checking this album out, because it's I'm trying to think of other records, because I don't want to jump the gun, but fuck it, I think I say it. This is the best Vaporwave album of all time, in my opinion. It is an incredible record. Probably my favorite might be my favorite from the pile that I've got here. And I highly recommend checking this out. And even the artwork is very interesting. Interesting aesthetic that they've gone for. Here you go. Some nice Asian wherever in Asia that is, really nice. I kind of like this aesthetic, you know, the kind of rough around the edges aesthetic, and I have no idea where in Asia they're from, but the aesthetic that they went for is very, very pretty to my eyes. And yeah, I can't recommend this album enough to use, really. The second one's the same, but yeah, I highly recommend checking this out because it is an incredible record. Even the intro, "Loving Is Easy," CD player part 3, and it is incredible, really. I highly recommend checking this out if you haven't. And yeah, that is the last one of the pile, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that'll be the last one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see ya.